Hey guys, this is Savannah from earthandwater.co, and today I am very happy to be here with you to discuss setting intentions. So, setting intentions is exactly kind of what it sounds like. We all know what intentions are, right? And a lot of us are running around here just with whatever we have set on default, and whatever we have set on default is whatever we have been programmed with through culture and society and growing up and the situations and circumstances that we come in contact with and the people that we come in contact when we're growing up and all of the things, right? So we all pretty much start with this default setting because we don't really know any better, and we're just kind of, and then you hit a point to where you have awakened to the default setting. And congratulations, if you're here, more likely than not, you have awakened to the default settings. And now you want to make some intentional intentions to navigate life. Yeah? So setting intentions is just knowing what you want, knowing what you're doing. Well, let me back up there for a second. Nobody knows what they're doing. Okay? We're all out here doing our best, but if we set our intentions and we're being intentional with speaking, acting, living, breathing, interactions, all of the things, then at least we could get a little bit away from the default and more towards a positive direction. So, setting intentions is just a matter of reprogramming the mind through it's kind of like meditation, but it's not meditation in and of itself. It's just setting more or less a concrete decision in your subconscious. And then once you've decided how you want to do, be, act, feel, whatever, you just go about your day trying your best to meet those intentions. But the beautiful part is that it doesn't take a lot of effort or work once the intention is set. Our subconscious is happy to help us out. It is listening, it is working in the background at all times, whether we're aware of it or not. The conscious and the subconscious, they work together, and the subconscious is working with the default settings, and that's the one that's like, and then when you decide to set an intention for a different default setting, your subconscious immediately goes to work trying to make it happen. The natural settings of the mind and the body and the spirit and everything that we are set there to help us, to propel us forward, to help us thrive in all areas of life. Sometimes our conscious minds self-sabotage, but usually our subconscious is more connected to spirit and our body and all of the everything else, the chakras that are going to help us move in a more positive direction. If you take the time to flip the switch, okay? Think about the subconscious as a computer with switches and buttons and all of the things, the programming and the programs and whatnot. Now, this computer runs by itself without any outside help from us and our consciousness, right? Well, we can also choose to take our consciousness and go in there and push buttons and flip switches and delete certain programs and install other programs. And setting intentions is a really easy way to do this. So, exactly how do we set intentions? Well, for one, don't overthink it. You can wake up this morning and be like, I intend that I'm going to be happy today, and that's good enough. You can intend that you're going to try and eat better today. You can intend that every interaction you come in contact with a fellow person today is positive and whatever. So, step one, and often the hardest step, is figuring out what you want, right? We can't very well sit in the mornings for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and intend every little detail of every little thing of our day, right? So do know that this is a practice, just like anything else. You have to build the foundation and then grow upon it. Start small and then let them go from there. But let me tell you, we can absolutely use this to build a grand, awesome, wow type of life, okay? I currently intend to one day hang out with Sahara Rose and Queen Herbie. But we're not going to start there. We're going to start smaller with intending to fix our vibrations so that we can better interact with the life that we are in at the moment, so that we can move forward in that life getting rid of that which no longer serves us and implementing that which does, so that we can build a type of life to become the type of person that hangs out with Sahara Rose and Queen Herbie, because not any of us can just, show up on famous people's doorsteps, right? But anyway, so start small and figure out where you're at so that you can figure out how to move forward, okay? If most days are sad and depressive, then you want to start intending to be, whatever problems you're having right now, that's what you want to use your intentions to counteract. So it can be anything, 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 anything. You know you, and you know your problems better than I ever could. So, step 1, decide what you want. Step 2, match the energy and frequency to that intention, which is just the feelings and the emotions of having it already. A simple way to do this is to daydream. Just visualize what it would feel like to be in that setting. Now, I know a lot of people have problems with visualization, in which case you can find another mode to create this story and feeling around having the thing that you're wanting. You can write it down in story form if that's the way you work. You can talk about it if that's the way you work. Just sit around and think about how you work and what works best for you and what mode of creation that you can get the intention into a sort of visual, more concrete type of form, if that makes sense. Pinterest boards are super helpful because you can just pin things that you feel have the vibration, the energy, the emotion, the feeling of the thing that you're hoping for, right? And we're completely getting into manifestation. If you're familiar with that, that's all that this is intention setting is a more rudimentary, basic building block of manifestation. So you could really use these steps for any kind of thing, any kind of goal, small, big, personal, business, whatever. The steps are all the same. But I'm going to reiterate that you have to get the foundation set before you can start manifesting the bigger things on top of that, right? We're at Maslow's hierarchy of the chakras again. You have to get the basic stuff. If we can't get out of bed and interact with those around us in a positive manner, and we can't take care of our bodies properly, then we don't have the energy to do all the things that we want in life, right? So we have to start small and start with the basics before we can build to the more luxurious things in life, which I know is where all of us are trying to get to, and that is a-okay. Let's go. So step 1, figure out what you want. Step 2, match the vibration of it, which just means knowing what that looks like and what that feels like. But don't get too attached to it looking like what you imagine it to look like. Focus on the energy, focus on the feeling, focus on that. That is what you want, okay? You don't want money just to have money. You want money because it gives you the feelings of being secure and stable and safe, right? It gives you the freedom, the opportunities, all of the things. You don't want to lose weight just for the sake of losing weight. You want to lose weight to feel more comfortable in your skin, to be healthier, a lot of us are probably doing it for other people, and that's the wrong intentions right there. So focus on the feelings, the emotions, the energy, the vibration, and not so much the concrete physical thing that you're looking for. Because that's not actually what you're looking for. It's just what you think you're looking for, because that's what translates into that for you in this life and world. And from there, all you have to do is hold on to that feeling, emotion, energy, vibration for as long as you can. And that means finding other things in your day that represent that or bring you closer to that or look like that in some form or fashion. Like attracts like. So if you hold on to this energy, then it's going to start coming to you, but slowly at first until it builds momentum. And it's probably going to take a little bit of time, okay? We can't very well dig ourselves out of a 30-year hole in one day. It took us 30 years to dig this hole. It's going to take a little bit of time for us to create a ladder to climb out of it. So be patient and trust the process. Trust is a big part of it. If you don't trust, then, okay, look, trust is a vibration in and of itself. It's one of the more positive ones. If you cannot trust that the universe, God, source, whoever your deity, whatever is, will bring it to you because now you know what you want and you're doing the work on your end to get to it. But if you don't trust that all of this is going to work, then it's not going to. You know, our lovely subconscious wants to prove us correct. The world wants to prove us correct. The universe, energy, all of it, it like attracts like, okay? It wants to prove us correct. That's why we find all of this conflicting information all over the internet about all sorts of things. You can find a scientific, college studied paper, whatever, on proving pretty much nearly anything you want. Most things are relative, and even science. And the more we learn about all of that, the more we learn that we don't have a clue. We're just doing our best, so we're good. Take everything that you know to be quote unquote fact and just kind of dump it in the garbage because we don't know. And that's what it means to have an open mind, which is exactly going to be the thing that helps you get what you want if you want it, okay? And with that, I also want to touch on the tense of which you speak it into existence. Because if you say, I intend that I will, then you're going to leave it in a suspended animation of willness and it never arrives. So, with that, don't get stuck in the suspended animation of waiting for it. You want to speak it into existence where it already exists. But at the same time, you don't want to lie to yourself because the subconscious knows when lies are a different vibration. So if you're like, I intend that I make $500,000 a year, but you know that you don't, then that's going to put a stopper in the manifesting or the intention setting of, creating your reality and all of that. So instead, you want to rework it to something that is still true, but closer to where you want to be. Like instead of I make $500,000 a year, which is a lie, probably, you want to say something along the lines of I am actively building connections and making decisions that are going to get me closer to my goal of 500K a year. Be creative with it. It's fine. Think of it as stepping stones, okay? You start at the beginning of the path. You can't just immediately jump to the last stepping stone in the path. You have to walk there, and that means crossing the reality that you're currently in to get closer to the reality that you would like to be in. Okay, so I know that was kind of a lot. I'm bad about that, but I don't know how to simplify anything other than as much as I simplify it for you. But I have lots of modes of relaying the information. So I have a blog post that is going to accompany this podcast episode. It's called How to Set Intentions for Growth and Success. You can find it in a quick Google search in my unearthingwater.co because it's been around. This particular blog post has been around for a while, and I am just creating this podcast episode to accompany the blog post. But anyway, those are your story notes. If you want to go see it written down, I have a little graphic here with the step-by-step process to make it easy as I can, okay? And then in the meantime, if you have any questions, if I can help clarify anything at all, please let me know. Join our Facebook group so that we can all interact and discuss all of the things amongst ourselves. And until then, I hope you have an amazing day and week and month and reality and life. And namaste. Love you. I'll talk to you later.